Hello and welcome. Good morning if you're myself and Scriv, as it is bright and early 8:30 a.m. and well, good afternoon if you're over in Asia, as we're about to kickstart things here. It's IHC taking on Eruption. It's a rematch of yesterday in the lower bracket final. No time for introductions, but Scriv, how you doing?
All good, mate. I'm not doing too bad at all. I'll tell you who's not doing too bad, though. It is, of course, going to be that side of Eruption, starting off pretty well here in the pistol. Living up to the namesake, I suppose. Very, very aggressive. Bursting their way forward. Shinobi in with the big 2K there. So it's all gotten bloody pretty quick. Yeah. They are not messing around. It's not early in the day for them. So they're definitely ready for the Counter-Strike here on Ancient. See what they've got left in the tank here on the IHC side of things. Starved of info. No real clue of where to go and how to group up. The big one is that Score's pushed all the way outside of B. He does have that kind of information that, you know, they're not hanging outside, but the bomb is ready to go on B, and they're looking to cut this CT player off in just a second here. Difficult fight for Score. He's caught out in the open, and there it is. Fury eventually takes him down. I think he was a dead man. He would have been lucky to get one. Just going to be down to Bartak then. Against 3 with the USP. Player off to his right, and again, just kind of trapped in, not really looking too good. Smoke goes down. I think that was actually a CT smoke that's been recovered, so that's a little bit annoying. He keeps getting tagged down here, and eventually should get finished for the 1v3.
Yeah, I mean, they know where he is. The post plan set up in a way which, even if he was to isolate it, 1, maybe even 2 frags, they'd still see it off. So, hey, credit. Eruption starting off really strong, and of course, it's a little bit of a derby. A bit of history here in very recent history, of course, as they played yesterday. A bit of a rematch. That one was Eruption taking out 2-0. 16-12 first map on Anubis, which, interesting to see that IHC didn't want to risk it there. I think it's probably actually the smart decision, to say the least. And, of course, Inferno will be on map number 2. That is the pick of IHC. And if we need it, our third and final decider, it's going to be Mirage. So, quite the interesting veto coming through. Quite puggy in its nature, especially now with Ancient having those recent changes. To me, it's no longer as C-decided as it once was. I think it's actually kind of sort of starting to lean the other way, just because the T-side get such a preference when it comes to spawns, which actually makes it quite puggy. So I think a lot of puggy teams will start looking towards Ancient, because you can just take these sort of fights. Like, you get all of that mid control really early doors for free before the CT can really even challenge it.
Yeah, well, Eruption clearly working on their map pool, I think. You know, they played Anubis yesterday a couple times, so they are improving and certainly using this qualifier as a good ground to train up, I suppose. But we'll see. IHC can't really put up too much of a fight. They're actually just getting rolled right now by Eruption. Usually the force buys on Ancient are a little more interesting, but not this time around. Eruption looking very, very good then. Annihilation maybe finds one here. That's a hell of a flick, to be fair, for that tag. Oh, the jumping no scope as well. Okay. Don't mess around with this guy. He will get traded out eventually, but a nice one for the frag movie, the after movie here. Yeah. Nonetheless, Eruption rolling through into that second round.
Hey, we'll give him his flowers, right? I mean, that's not a bad shot. I'll give him that all day. Unfortunately, it amounts to absolutely nothing. Eruption looking really strong right now on the T side. I mean, they are, as you quite adequately put it, rolling them, right? This has been very one-sided so far. We're not really seeing IHC even contest both the pistol and that second round, relatively one-sided. And to be honest, this third one should be a little bit more of the same. Not much brought to the table, of course, with a forced investment towards the second. So it means that IHC back down to pistols, and all they've got to work with, one deagle in the hand of bLitz. He would need a monstrous round to even make a difference here.
Yeah, definitely not expecting too much out of this. Gets spotted, gets finished. I think maybe on the mini-map he came up there, so that should be the round. Although, Annihilation through the smoke, not bad. Not bad at all. But yeah, we're waiting for this next rifle round ultimately, and I think that IHC struggled yesterday. They managed to stay alive. Obviously, we didn't cover that game. Awkward for Fury there. Maybe I'll hold the point, because, yeah, there's an opportunity at a couple kills, but I'll be happy with that. Return on 0 investment. But yeah, yesterday was definitely a tough one, I think, for IHC. They are kind of the major representatives most of the time, and when it comes to the domestic, they are very, very hit and miss. It is certainly an interesting tale that surrounds this IHC squad.
Yeah, it's sort of weird, isn't it? You know, when it comes to on a more international landscape, you know, when we see them kind of qualifying for majors and stuff, they always look so dominant. And that was the case even recently, right? Going towards Rio. I mean, IHC looked fantastic. making their way towards that spot. The previous major, the exact same story. But yeah, weirdly, when it comes to the more domestic scale, like for example, lost that Challenger League Season 43 finals to Lin Vision. They've struggled to be seen as the top dogs in this kind of domestic scene when they really should be, and that's not a bad start though. Techno score and Annihilation, all netting themselves one. It's getting quite messy with the shots, and Coolest and Fury found one of their own.
Yeah, the B rush coming in unsuccessful, unfortunately. Bartak on the flank will make sure that they seal the deal in this round. It's just Coolest who, so far, is having a pretty good game. Yesterday was absolutely lights out in both series. A big ask. All three of them in cave. So he actually has a lot of maneuverability here with a minute left and the bomb on his belt. He should be able to go wherever he likes, but question is, does he get the right read? He's hearing a few reloads and whatnot. They're starting to spread out now on that CT side. Score with an off angle. Good to play against the AWP. Depends how fast it's going to be. Coolest with the patience is there. Somehow the no-scope misses just over the shoulder, I think. Either way, IHC on the board.
Could have seen a world in which that one finds a bit of success. It's just pure luck, RNG there. Not to be. But overall, IHC much better round. I think a good read as well. A little bit of a gamble stack coming through over towards that B side. It was heavily weighted rather than taking that mid-aggression, which a lot of teams are sort of favouring away from now. It seems with the recent changes to Ancient, there's no longer this kind of this want anymore to be super and hyper aggressive down towards mid, just because you generally don't win the spawns, and it can be quite messy. Like this crossover towards Donut. Normally not looking too pretty, but bLitz will find a double.
Yep, the fire helping out with that one, and Bartak keeps it going as bLitz gets traded. The mid control, the B control so far. IHC not putting a foot wrong in these rifle rounds. Really solid stuff. I don't know that there's much more to add than that, you know. The aggression is just really coming off, and Eruption very quickly have run out of ideas. Very quickly are starting to struggle, so really difficult time ahead, I think, for this team, because IHC may be expecting the Ancient pick.
Of course, now, breaks Palm just a tad. Eruption in a position where things are looking too comfortable. And of course, yesterday, they were able, may I say, to take down IHC 2-0, 16-12, 16-13. But overall, from kind of what we heard, T-Tan gets a little bit of info. They look good, right? Apparently, their Anubis really solid. Some kind of new strats coming out. We got to see a little bit of it. Eruption that wasn't as strong against the likes of Lin Vision, so we were kind of hoping that this Eruption side, who obviously seemed to have a fairly decent amount of, you know, I guess ability behind them is one way we can put it. Of course, there's not that much information. They're kind of a mixed match of players, the core from Araft, and then a couple two kind of placed in here and there. But overall, kind of, we know this side are fairly decent. Coolest, of course, and then you mentioned somebody could really step up. Yami as well has moments of brilliance. We were hoping yesterday's result, that 2-0 of IHC wasn't a flash in the pan, and that this region was getting stronger. You know, Team Renewal taking Lin Vision, that might have been a flash in the pan since they got absolutely battered by IHC. That was 16-2, 16-6 in their best of three in that lower bracket. I was hoping for Eruption it wasn't a flash in the pan. I was hoping there was going to be, you know, a real derby here. I mean, it's the Mongolian derby.
It is indeed, and those domestic derbies can often be wacky, to say the least. So, yeah, we're hoping for some exciting kind of counter-strike to come out of this one. What is that flick from Annihilation? Great way to start off here, and he'll keep on rolling through the motions. They're both going to jump up. Very risky indeed. Annihilation not going down, though. He actually lands a collat. He kills him through his teammate. Get out of the way, Bartak. Annihilation wants his ace. Unfortunately, Coolest is on the other side of the map, so I don't think he's going to get a single chance at that. But, yeah, it will be the finish off from bLitz. All the same, Annihilation warming up pretty early. They are only eco frags, but that was clinical stuff.
Oh, Annihilation. Fair play. We've got to give credit a lot of time. I think I actually got to look towards Eruption. You know, when you're on those pistols and you know you're coming against an AWP, or you're expecting, I think the AWP's over towards the A side, it's not uncommon by any means. But this, especially since the first player gets picked, you've just got to swarm the site. You can't allow the AWP to keep setting up and isolating fights the way Annihilation was. I mean, he was so easy just picking them off. It was like aimbots, you know, duck hunting. It was so easy for him. You can't allow that. You've got to swarm the site. You've got to make the AWP feel uncomfortable. And they don't. Eruption in a little bit of a precarious spot now. IHC have tied up this game. Eruption's T side, what was once looking so strong, now looking a little bit shaky.
bit slower to start in this round. IHC not rushing in, not playing quite as aggressive. Yami clears some basic angles, but doesn't really go any deeper than that. Does not want to give his life away early. Eruption realize how important this round is right now, and opportunities just not presenting. I think IHC also feel it. Take the lead, probably get themselves up to 5, especially if they can deny a bomb plant. So in a really good spot right now.
Pumping the brakes, bit of Util coming through. Score still going to be the difference maker. Does he get cleared? The smoke might make it a little bit awkward. He's getting a lot of info, a lot of sound cues coming through. They know that at the very least 2 over towards that top ledge. Coupling towards mid 2. This is going to be a little bit dicey. bARTAC flashed off the angle, fall back.
Here we go. Oh, great flash coming in there from Eruption. 3 of them in Donut. Not a single kill comes through for bARTAC. A panic motion. Techno's still alive on the site, though. He could drop the bomb. Annihilation through the smoke finds another, and Techno staying alive is absolutely massive. Down to dobu on 40 HP. This looked so good. The initial move was magic, but they were just so ready for the A hit there on the IHC side. At the moment, not putting a foot wrong. I'll continue to say it because this is pretty perfect Counter-Strike coming out from IHC.
It's a banger flash as well towards Donut. Normally when you throw that flash as well, you're trying to isolate one of the 2 angles, but it actually manages to catch both. It's really, really well placed. And I think maybe because of the kind of the tension and the waiting around, knowing that the players are going to hit Donut at some point, they were maybe a little bit too laser focused in and didn't see that flash popping overhead. But hey, does wonders. Does net the open 2 kills, but unfortunately not good enough. Even jump peeking across as well to isolate that fight in towards the cave player. This is messy though. Dobu and Yami, 1 apiece.
Yeah, very scary stuff actually. Annihilation still around. He gets traded though. He gets taken down. Absolutely massive. It's going to allow for the bomb plant to go down at the very least. And I mean, a 3v2 retake now into the B bomb site of Ancient with a flank coming in. Going to be tough. bLitz through the smoke does manage to find one though. That will make all the difference. So this flank's going to have to be massive from Shinobi. Yami is put out of action by the smoke, really. There's the flank. And, well, even bARTAC getting a little bit confused, not quite ready for it, not quite certain of the fact that he's being flanked. And bLitz down to 24. Not a chance. Not a chance. In they rush. He finds one. He's going to go for the hold. Oh, Shinobi's got to call the bluff here and move around quickly. This is going to get awfully close. Oh, no. He does not stop him from defusing. bLitz will get it done. Oh, and IHC, for the first time in the game, they get lucky, but it comes at the perfect time. Eruption will be kicking themselves.
I think IHC will look at that and think, you know, the fact that we had to ninja the fuse in a way is actually quite worrying. The eco nearly, and actually overall, so costly. I mean, 4 kills and a bomb plant is really not a bad eco, all things considered, but you're spot on. Eruption will be looking at that and thinking, how did we lose this? We had the site, we had the bomb now, we had everything set up, and we lost to an ninja. We expected the tap, and it's costly. And from a 3-0 start in favor of Eruption, 5-3 IHC is starting to walk away, starting to put in serious numbers on the board. And you can fully understand why Attack Pause is called. Now this is an opportunity, I mean, for this T side to formulate some sort of plan, because it sort of seems that on the full buys, they have a different mentality as they come into rounds. And it's not as concise and as... well, like, I guess it's confident, maybe, as how we saw him towards the Pistols. Because the Pistols were looking really, really good. You know, what we've seen in terms of the recos, apart from when they gave Annihilation an easy 4K over towards the A side. Aside from that, we've seen some good work coming through from Eruption on their Pistols. So, IHC in a good position. Of course, double AWP set up for them as well. bLitz and Annihilation are going to be running with the AWPs. And Coolest did scoop one up, of course, from that previous round.
Well, still with the money, Eruption are going to have to make sure that they can pick up a round sooner rather than later. Things are really starting to get away from them. Really starting to get away from them. Annihilation opens up for the first. That's down on the ramp area. Going to be a small battle here in cave, you would assume. Maybe a flash to come in for dobu to work with, but Eruption, again, not looking good. Flash does come through, but it just forces them away.
It's slow. Eruption now in a bit of a spot, right? Bit of a precarious position. Numbers disadvantage. Got a little bit of info about how IHC is setting up, but so unconfident it seems. Taking these fights has not been too favourable for them.
No, it has been pretty disastrous, actually. We'll see Two-man setup in cave. Pretty impenetrable, this one, right on top of each other. It's so hard. Great headshot onto the first, but yeah, you just can't even see the top of score, really. Tag comes in, and because of that, he's able to find the double fury against 4. A questionable push through the smoke from score, you have to be honest. Fury's retrieved the bomb. Needed one more to get the plant in. Can't find it. IHC moving up to 6.
I gotta say, overall, IHC looking like, obviously, the better team. The only thing that does slightly worry me is it seems like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong here, Script, but it does kind of feel like IHC are very frag hungry. They're very sort of, you know, they'll do anything to get this kill. And I think that mindset can be very costly, right? Where we're seeing, you know, pushing through smokes, or we saw earlier against, in the second round of play when we saw, the likes of, oh no, it's the second round after the full eco from Eruption, where they're taking these fights against pistols, where maybe overextending and facing 2-3 guys at the same time. For IHC overall, they've been nigh on like nearly perfect, aside from these slight overextensions coming through. And if they can sort of plug those gaps, maybe kind of rein it in just a tad, this side should run away with Ancient, potentially even the series too. Another pause called. No time to have a conversation and just take a breather. This has been already quite rough. Eruption not looking confident anymore, and they're starting to quite considerably fall behind. On a map which is generally is not that much CT-sided anymore, and not as one-sided, they're struggling on their T side.
Yeah, they definitely are. They definitely are really struggling here. But we'll see. Timeout hopefully will make a difference for them. I mean, it's going to have to. Their map pick, by the way. IHC looking to get revenge for yesterday, and so far so good. Contact out on A could work. bLitz is not holding the angle at all. Out they come, and yeah, he gets surprised as well to even get one, to be honest with you. Nice hold from middle. Bartak keeps him guessing here. Another AWP retrieved, so this is going to get a bit scary. Flank is effective. Maybe for a couple if he plays his cards right. Yami looking for it. They're just waiting for this flank to get fully activated, but he is somewhat trapped at the moment. They have half control of the A-bomb side, but they don't have enough control to get the bomb down. That's the worrying thing, really. Molotov, Bartak, combined together. They don't find the kill. It's Score that does get the trade out. Once again, Yami's still on this flank. Got to be wary of it. Maybe do have to give control of the A-bomb site away. Fury on that retrieved AWP is going to find one. Back to an AK, and Score runs out of ammo. Eruption get their first rifle round, and again, it looks messy, but they'll be happy with it.
Yeah, at this point, they'll take anything just to start to alleviate a little bit of that pressure. They're happy to start, by any means, putting up rounds on the board and making this T-side a bit of a contest. So far for Eruption, since the full buys and since the rifles in play, they have struggled to even put a dent over towards IHC, barring that one Ninja Defuse round. So they're happy that they're able to take fights, win them out, and they play the trades really nicely there. For IHC, maybe just caught in the open a little bit too much. I think, like you said, bLitz, he's good to get one, but positioning was pretty rough. Missed AWP shots. Coolest. He's so fortunate to stay alive.
Oh, bLitz, though, with the double on the edge of the smoke. They are back with a vengeance into round number 11, let me tell you that. Dobu and Coolest going to be incredibly low from earlier exchanges, so Eruption, one step forward, 2 steps back. It looks like a tough battle on their hands.
And that was the call here, right? Long-term economy not looking fantastic. A bomb plant feels like a bit of a necessity if they want money going in towards the next, or they go for a save. And I mean, with a minute left on the clock, that's such an early call, but in a really, really rough spot where, I mean, 2 guys are taking half damage already. I mean, Coolest a little bit more, in fact. Yami, the only real one who could take a fight and win it out all on his own. This could get extremely dicey extremely quickly.
Yes, very true. Do love this angle. It's a little tougher to work with these days. Nice find on the trade from Yami, but a one and done will do at this point. It's a kill and info. Absolutely massive towards the end goal for IHC. 30 seconds to get the bomb down. Again, Yami on the entry. He's not looking too bad. They do need to give him some respect. Techno remains alive, but just barely. Bomb plant at the very least then. So that is something. Yami finding another head. A fully healthy player this time around. Good catch from Techno, but again, 20 HP, the 1v2 not out of the question. You got to say Yami's done the hard work by now. Oh, they're swapping weapons. They're swapping weapons. No way Yami gets that. They line up for him. He finds the perfect timing and an ace clutch all by himself to get Eruption their 5th round. Can you believe it?
That's perfect from Yami. Yami has played that every single move like chess, calculated. I mean, that is how you do it. What a round from Yami. His entry's flawless. Yes, a lot of damage has been done to IHC. He's still hitting headshots. It doesn't matter anyway. What a round. What a round. Baits the first. Fair enough. But he was low HP anyway. Finds that kill in towards cave. And then he starts this kind of perfect move. Finding these fights. Isolating them as well. And that's the big problem. IHC get so easily isolated in that fight. And of course, the last two, swapping weapons. You can't be doing that. There's a time and a place. And that wasn't it. Just keep Annihilation on the AWP and you would have been absolutely fine. Bogdan's Law is not needed there. Eruption up to a 5, and that could be a turning point. That's where momentum can start to tick the other way. What a round. What a round. Eruption have found a little bit of success, and hey, maybe even that could be where the snowball effect starts to swap over towards that T side and they can run with it. I mean, it's broken the IHC economy, so all in all, there is, you know, it's a win-win situation. Not only the round, but breaking IHC both mentally and physically.
So let's see how they can deal with this follow-up round. Then bLitz has already found one on the Deagle. It should be all good by all accounts, but that's not the best of starts for Eruption. A minute 30 on the clock, and they're already a man down. There was a bit more brought up into this round. I'd give some benefit of the doubt to IHC. Yami, though, is on a ringer right now. Techno hidden away. Does actually get one at the back there. So they're keeping this damage up. Annihilation picks up an AK as soon as he gets it, though. In strikes Fury. They are quite split. So 1v1-wise, this is all very possible for the CT side. bLitz goes a-hunting. He already got one for this round. He's looking for a little more. Score's going to lose most of his life. bLitz on the Deagle, though. He's got another. He's retrieved an AK. He's dropped the bomb, so they are in his hands right now. This is certainly not out of the question. Fury, how's this fight going to go? He wins it, and that was the all-important game round winning kill for sure. Nonetheless, this is a very close one for Eruption despite the investment.
Now, pumping the brakes attack, trying to take a little fight here. I mean, for score, this is rough. 15 points of HP and 2 kills to find. And of course, Yami did a bit of magic in towards the previous. And I think score might just park up. Yeah, save call, keep hold of what he's got. Of course, I mean, for IHC, he didn't bring anything to the table here. So I don't actually mind this by any means. Keep hold of what he's got. Maybe we can play exit a little bit. But having an AK in towards the next is going to be at least something to work with. Eruption time this game up 6 rounds apiece, though. It's not bad. He's giving away his ruse as well. A little bit of a laboured spray. I think he should be alright just to sit up here over towards spawn. 6-all. Eruption tie this game back up, and we were starting to internally have conversations about maybe this this game slipping a little bit. You know, this game looking like we were going to see sort of IHC run away with it because they were starting to look so dominant, and since they had rifles in play. But that Yami ace has really turned the tide, and it's now made this a real possibility that Eruption can still take Ancient. I mean, they're setting themselves up for what is a pretty good T-side half, all things considered.
Yeah, really tough, I think, to get through something like this. But CT economy constantly working against them is sort of the big thing. We'll see. They're attempting a recovery here. Quick in towards A from that T side. Bartak going to be here. Smoke goes down, trying to work around it. Yami finds Techno on the edge of said smoke. What's the gameplay? What's the move? Nice pickup from bLitz. Not traded. Dobu going to be left low from a tag on the edge of the smoke. Bartak chimes in for 2. Absolutely massive. Nearly gets the 3rd there. The crosshair was definitely on, but he couldn't hit the mouse 1. Nonetheless, everybody else chiming in here. It looked good on the initial attack for this A-bomb site. Falls quickly. How has Dobu found 2? No way IHC are going to let another silly round like this slip away. Dobu on 15 HP from an AWP tag. The first headshot, fair enough. Great bit of aim from him. But the second one, I mean, should never be happening. And now Score just playing the patient game. Oh. Spots him, finishes him, and thank goodness for IHC. Because, I mean, That would have been another embarrassing one to lose, especially 15 HP.
Yeah, my God, that got way too close. I mean, I like the idea for the quick 8-8 coming through from Eruption. It's a smart play. It allows them just to be a little bit more aggressive and sort of, kind of play their playstyle, which is high tempo, taking fights, playing trades. But credit to bRTAC. bRTAC just stays alive in the smoke. That's all he has to do is just stay alive. And it's quite simple. It's effective, but it nets him 2 kills. He hears the reload and swings off the back of that too. So great use of the sound cues from him. Net himself a double. And of course, while yes, they've won it for IHC, the buy isn't exactly comfortable. Double FAMAS coming through. He's not exactly a dream, but same goes for Eruption. They've got just a hero AK in the hands of dobu.
Yeah, they do love the hero AK in this region at the moment. I'll give you that much. Nice pickup from Annihilation. The rest of the team's going to make their way around. It was indeed an AK spotted there. Yami scoops it up, but Annihilation at the moment, he's living up to his namesake. How fast are these? Oh my goodness. Coolest eventually deals with him, but not before he's won the round for his team already. They'll be happy with a bomb plant, to be fair, especially because of the hero AK, you know, get some more money back in the hands of dobu and Yami, who had maybe overspent ever so slightly. Coolest has now got an AWP as well. Just not out of the question for him to find, yep, a frag. He does indeed do so. So there you go. IHC moving up to 8 here on the CT side, but Eruption are kind of hot on their heels, making them work for all these rounds.
Yeah, they're not coming easy anymore or comfortable, but I guess in that one, only a couple of kills isn't the end of the world. I've seen hero rifles do a lot more, so all things considered, I think IHC won't be too upset with this half. I mean, they've already guaranteed they're going to get a lead. I think that they should go in with a 9th. I mean, they kind of seem like they found their sort of stability once again, even though it is, yes, very messy. But it seems like in the chaotic rounds, they're still able to at least make them competitive and see it off in their favor. They're close. They come down to the fine margins, but all in all, IHC starting to look a little bit more of the side that we know and love. So, not really against us right now. bLitz taking a little bit of mid-aggression. No one really testing him for it, though. Of course, for Eruption, they're happy just to park up for a little bit coolest. With an AWP in his hands, we know what this guy can do. As long as Annihilation doesn't overextend, it should be fine.
Should being the operative word. We'll see.
Yeah.
We will see. Backing off from mid. Yeah, they've given up B completely at the tail end. And while a contact B was the call from Eruption, it seems to be the absolute correct call. Annihilation's here with the AWP. Techno has no idea at all. Annihilation will take Coolest down. Thank goodness for the AWP being here. Maybe could make a difference in this one. bLitz, meanwhile, going to find Shinobi on a flank Fury with 2. That second is nasty. 2 versus 2 then. Edge of the smoke play for both these players. That tag lands. Oh, the AK comes through the smoke at the right time as well. All going to be down to bRTAC. Not the easiest clutch up in the world. He does have a kit available, so plenty of time for it. Molly's onto the bomb, just kind of giving them a little bit more to work with. They are double stacked up here. Ready for the first, not ready for the second. Yami, though, just doesn't want to peek it, trying to play it patiently around the shadow, and that will be the correct call. 8-7, closest damn it at the turn of the half.
Nice and easy. Welcome back. 8-7, as even as a half as it can be. IHC, ever so slight lead on Eruption's map pick. But I've got to say, all in all, Eruption, to even get to 7 rounds, that's pretty good. At one point, Script, they were looking on the ropes. 3-0, they started in their favor, and then it just crumbled. We were talking 6-3, IHC just on a tear. And it all stopped at a yami ace. And that's when things became a little bit more even. But 8-7, I think Eruption, they'll take that.
Yeah, definitely will. Not a bad T-side showing at all. We'll see what IHC have got on the T-sides where it can get, you know, a bit harder as a squad. You need a clearer game plan, but at the same time, you can dictate the pace. And the way Ancient works, you can just move around in a pack. So see if they listen to any of those warnings. Bartak making noise on A, just keeping attention here. There is actually 4 players ready to go on A. B, meanwhile, they're opting to retake. Dobu's got a smoke and a kit. But if they can be caged into A, it's going to be very difficult, I think, to make a difference. Over on the B bomb side, bit of a rare game state. Bomb gets planted and everyone is still alive. Does not happen too often at all. We'll see. 2 lurkers for that T side in towards middle, looking and indeed finding frags. Very important frags at that. Dobu got to be careful not to go down there. He does have that kit, as I mentioned. Lots of damage coming into these players, though. The kills finally rolling in. Annihilation in with a double score. Smoked off. Left unable to help his teammates, but it doesn't really matter because his teammates are doing all the work right now, and the Glocks mow through Eruption. IHC this time will take the pistol.
That's a great round as well. I think such a necessity for IHC because of how they lost their sort of significant lead that they built up in that first half. We weren't in a sort of position where we were thinking that things were going to go back in favor of Eruptions when they come on towards that CT side, and things were going to start looking really, really good for them to potentially see off their map pick. But IHC, that really opens the door now because they've got a really good opportunity to start putting up a fairly decent amount of rounds on the board before Eruption can truly respond. He's just going to be a low buy for the CT side, but even still, in towards the next. If IHC are able to keep at least kind of 3 of these AKs in play, it should be a full rifle round, both sides, into kind of round number 18, which make it all the more spicy. But it's a good opportunity for IHC now to find double digits and just build up that lead, just have a little bit of breathing room, because at the moment, it's been such a tight affair that they've never felt, you know, comfortable. Oh, gamble stack 2 as well towards A. Eruption. Unfortunate, wrong call. Which would be a free B bomb site.
Yeah, it takes him a bit of time to figure it out, but Techno's going to work that one out. Yep, easy as you like, of course. Bomb going to go down. So we're in another relatively rare game state here. And a bit of an anticlimactic one, unfortunately. But the snake's on the way. They do have a deagle in there. So you never know what kind of success they might find. bLitz holding on the lurk. But yeah, if they can get 1, if they can get 2 kills, it'd be really nice just to make their rifle easier. Deagle goes down. Coolest going to scoop it right up. Annihilation is playing with fire on this one. He's feeling confident, though, isn't he? 21 kills so far. Going to run out of ammo and not get any more kills. That's an AK that could possibly be given away. Or are they going to trade everyone out here? Dobu in with a second headshot. So there you go. There's your costly factor. Nearly 3, in fact. So yeah, that does put them under a bit of pressure moving into this rifle.
It kind of feels like it goes back to kind of what I was saying, you know, quite a while earlier, saying for IHC, the only thing that I see as a real weakness to the side is just kind of sometimes they're very kill hungry. They're very sort of, you know, they love a frag hunt, and I think that can be something that can really come back to bite them. And just because it makes things a little bit expensive, right? We see, you know, of course, now a Mac 10 coming in from the hands of Techno. It's not exactly a dream sort of buy. Those sort of situations can always be a little bit awkward. Molotov smoked out. Great first fight. bLitz nearly making it a double 2.
Almost. Bartak left on 4 HP, so a pretty good start then for Eruption. The mid control that's so very valuable really comes easy for Eruption. They're going to give it up, going to move away as well. So a bit of retaking perhaps for IHC, or a bit of ignoring perhaps has to come in.
Techno can park up. Fury, he might get a little bit nosy, have a look into his excavation, and things could get a little bit dicey. We'll double back. Numbers even, HP not so much. Bartek taking such a significant amount of damage for him. Trying to find any success is going to be pretty brutal now.
Oh, the flash round is not quite effective enough from the CT side. Yami in for a trade, looking for a second, gonna get it. Dobu as well with aggression, takes out Techno.
Ooh.
Annihilation gets annihilated, and that'll be the 8th coming in for Eruption pretty quickly.
Good stuff. Really nice stuff to see, as well as, I mean, for Eruption, they needed to kickstart something in at least a bit of an emphatic fashion. They needed to start looking at this and start walking away with rounds of that CT side, or things were going to get pretty uncomfortable for IHC. I was going to say, I think the smart call here will be going for a low, but it looks like they want to force. I don't know if I'm a fan of this. Lose this force, that basically gives Eruption the ability to tie this game up. So a lot hinging on 1 AK, 1 Galil, and a few pistols. It's an extremely expensive buy. I would prefer to them to stick around that 2K mark. This is very risky. Techno, a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and not being funny, one of the greatest of stars right now, or just yet, right? I would have looked towards maybe dropping over towards the likes of an Annihilation.
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Put him on the strong rifle. Techno, though, he knows his angles. Yeah, of course. Nearly finding a second through that spam. So the B bomb site suddenly looks very vulnerable, but IHC don't know if they want to work off of it, if they want to play aggressive or not. Nice nade down onto score. We've got an execute coming in over the top here. They are going to move towards B. There's 3 players here, but they're all on top of each other. Tech9 to open up. Techno on the AK. He must have asked for it for a reason there, because he is absolutely popping off here. Going to continue chasing them down. Really solid stuff. Shinobi, the last man, and he comes from miles away. Not a chance. Looks like IHC are going to bag a force.
I gotta say, I mean, I hold my hands up. I was going to say in Techno, he had a bit of a quiet game. I think he only had 6 kills prior to this, and things were looking fantastic. Fair play. Techno 4K in the name, in the game, finding his 4 kills and winning out that round for IHC on what was an extremely, extremely risky force buy. Bringing in just an AK and a Galil, and nothing else left in the back burner as well. Failed to find that. It gifts Eruption basically 10 rounds. It gives them the ability to tie that game up. And, well, the fact that they have an Eruption now, nothing themselves. In the pockets, they're pretty thin. Just a small buy coming through, a couple of the Eagles, but overall, this should be IHC continue to truck along and continue to get the snowball effect in play. They are really running with fire right now.
Yeah, really scary stuff. Really scary stuff from IHC, and of course, again, looking for that revenge from yesterday. They have cleaned their game up, it feels like. Score with a good find. There are a couple more. Ooh! In on the B bomb site. Nice shot from Score. Gap in the smoke will mean that he goes down to Dobu. But Dobu's the last one with 4 HP. So no funny business here. It'll be IHC moving up to 12 and set pretty comfortably for, well, yeah, first map victory. If they continue playing like this, this T side is looking pretty dominating so far.
Getting to a point now as well, we're going to start looking at the series, because we know how good IHC can be on Inferno. We've seen this side play internationally, and it does get slightly concerning. Yes, it's a puggy map, which kind of opens the door slightly for Eruption to make it a bit of a contest, but all in all, I think with how things are looking right now, it kind of felt like Ancient had to be a win factor. It was a bit of a needs must for Eruption, the same way Anubis was yesterday, just to kickstart their momentum. But I think a lot of credit has to be given towards IHC. It's obvious that they've done a lot of research in the last kind of 24 hours since their 2-0 loss yesterday to make this one a lot more comfortable. In comes the flash. We'll catch the T-side players. Rotate comes through.
I don't know, man. 5 players in on the site. You don't have a kit available. You've got very little utility. I don't know if they can really find a way in here. Quick 1-for-1 trade. Not going to be enough. The AWP contacting in. Hazard. Oh, the rest of IHC. Techno on 1 HP. Trying to play on top of each other. It's just not quite working. Down goes Techno. 4 versus 2. I thought this looked really good for IHC, but they maybe get a bit ahead of themselves. Tap onto the bomb. The AWP is just set up and ready to hold them all off. Coolest with the 4K. A game of the AWP, as it would appear now, but Eruption, they will be so elated with that. 4 players surviving and a 9th picked up.
They needed something. I mean, overall, right, we're looking at this Eruption side and saying, you know, we're having conversations about how this entire series is already starting to look quite dicey if they're not able to at least make it competitive on the way out. But kind of in my eyes, I think they need to take this map. Ancient feels like a necessity, and if they don't, I do get very worried. Even if we go towards Mirage, it still leans quite heavily in favor of IHC. If we're talking about raw aim duels, while Coolest is pretty good with it, the likes of Annihilations, who this guy is unstoppable right now. bLitz having an absolute corker of a game too. These guys on puggy maps, they'll continue to take aim fights, and probably for the most part continue to win them too. They have been unbelievable. Both sitting on 107 ADR. It's not bad by any means. But at least the 9th does mean they're in sort of arm's reach. 12th to 9, it's doable. Open play for Coolest. He's been a little bit quieter than usual. He's the kind of the go-to guy we look towards over towards Eruption. If we can start seeing him fire on all cylinders, this side do get incredibly scary.
Oh, Molly on to score. Nearly gives his position away. He's got to be careful, though. He's in that spam spot. Oh, they're so close. Eating some of these bullets here. Good moves coming in. Good moves coming in. Somehow IHC able to just avoid and battle, play safe. Upshot does miss, though. And Coolest will take down Annihilation for his mistake. I mean, rightly so. It felt like a sitter over there. Just not able to get it. Spam coming in through the wall. Fury going to find some good timing here for 1, 2. Yes. Big round. They're yet to drop a player. CT hold as well for the flank. Smart stuff. Yami's ready for another. Does get taken down, but all the same, the round is over. They've got the bomb discovered now. bLitz. He's also looking good. We've been talking up Annihilation. bLitz has been looking really good, so don't write him off for at least one other kill here. They've not fully discovered the bomb, but they do have it in control. I just don't think they realize it.
I think for bLitz as well, I don't even think a save call's bad here. For him, just trying to keep an AK in play. I mean, realistically, what do IHC have left in arrears? Not a lot, right? They had nothing really to bring to the table. Just having one AK to work with will really sort of alleviate a bit of pressure. Maybe a little bit of an AWP there. Bit of a, oh, he's been spotted. He will collect it. He's just going to get rid of it. Oh, okay, fair enough. I thought he was maybe going to try and at least attempt the save, but probably actually the smart call. I can't really see a world in which he's going to keep that in play. He is being hunted, time's ticking. So actually, no, maybe he would have been all right to just keep that AWP in play, but overall, doesn't matter too much. He'll keep an AK ticked over. But Eruption, comfortable stuff, looking really good. Fury, great round from him. Within 2, this becomes extremely dicey. Once again, we look over towards IHC and we look at that buy and thinking, how are they going to play around this? I'm assuming this time it's not going to be a weird little force, so kind of, you know, one that's extremely risky. Just play that low buy, stick around the kind of the 2K mark and have money to work in towards round number 24, but overall, sort of giving up an 11th towards Eruption, which makes things very difficult. A lot on bLitz to find success here. But of course, so far, top fragging, you kind of look towards him anyway.
Yeah, you do. You definitely do. We'll see. bLitz. Oh, they're all going to melt a bit there. And a big nade as well landing. Coolest going to find a frag. In they charge towards the B bomb site. The bombs actually hit the deck. They maybe could have body blocked to get the bomb down. That's exactly what they are going to do. Wonderful stuff. Still, not a single kill coming in. This is really quickly closing the gap as IHC now only have a lead of 1 round. They'll be thankful for the bomb plant, but Eruption are really, really close to stealing back control of this game.
1 round in it. Just the 1. IHC, from what was looking like they were on the road to, you know, I guess closing this out, right? It kind of looked like they were just going to quite comfortably see us off on C-side. They hit 12, and it sort of seems like now they've had a bit of a mental block, unable to continue trucking forward. Eruption, hot on their tails. This is the kind of one that sort of decides it for me. This is where a lot of that momentum is going to either solidify or swing. IHC, they're hoping it swings back in their favor. No AWP in play. 4 AKs, 1 Galil in the hands of bLitz and a whole host of utility. That's Eruption. They want to go aggro. Look at this from Fury trying to take a bit of a fight here. Do or die, but I like the idea. But the execution, not so much.
Yeah, this is a little risky now. Coolest going to get taken down, moving in fast. IHC, that's what they go towards when they're about to lose control of the game. They pick up a fast round and catch Eruption, getting confident. Talked a lot about sort of, I'd say it's mainly like a lack of true tight-knit discipline. We see a lot of teams in EU, particularly that sort of CIS region. That's where it can be at the highest in Tier 2 especially, which is, you know, where we usually work. Out in Asia, they don't like that so much. They like to play thick and fast and just go for it. No stopping, no thinking, just pure aim. And those types of rounds can be heavily effective, as you see here.
Question is, can they find anything more in the hunt? I don't think they will. Eruption. So they're happy. The remaining two, or dobu should be happy to kind of park up in towards Temple and bide their time. I didn't see they needed that. I guess maybe Eruption should have looked into it and sort of expected it too. I think you kind of alluding to when things get a little bit dicey for IHC, their default is just to, you know, just play fast, play off the back of A and play off the back of Jules. And once again, actually, as Techno steps up, he stepped up early with a hero rifle. And this time, double entry from him really sets the tone. Eruption caught with the pants down a little bit, kind of forced to be tail between their legs, running away. It was not a great round from them, as it just was so overconfident into taking those fights in the open, getting dropped very easily.
Yeah. Techno going to give his position away. Flash comes in. It doesn't blind up dobu, but the aim is there. Jesus. Even on the left eye peak, Techno looks so damn fast. Some really good rounds from him in recent times. You kind of pointed him out. He picked up the hero AK and everything, and he'd not been looking good up to that point, but now he seems to have found a new groove. Great move coming in from Bartak. Shinobi's got his man covered, though. 19 HP, the difference between a 5-on-3 and now a 4-on-3. That is such a shame for IHC. Really could have been the round with a kill like that.
Waiting. This should be a freebie. He went up round, but he doesn't. Good timing to turn back around. Score will fall. It's crumbling now. 2 versus 4. Yes, damage has been dealt, but 50 seconds to work with. Not a lot of info to go off.
No. Not a lot at all. Not a lot at all. We'll see Annihilation on the contact at the very least. Ooh, could get this player onto the left. Who's going to go for a slow peek off the back of the flash. Maybe could have been more effective if they were together. They decided to split. Oh. bLitz. He's crept in. Shinobi's watching for the mid flank and is just in the right place at the right time. 12 for Eruption. Here we go. Game on our hands.
Looks like maybe. Kind of, we want to go the full distance here. You know, yesterday when we kickstarted the stream, bright and early for us. Back-to-back 16-14s. An extremely close affair. This one, sort of looking like it's following the same trajectory. These two sides inseparable. Slight lead still in favor of IHC, but the key word is slight. This one could be up and even. Not a matter of time. I think for Eruption, this started to look really good. A little bit more composed as well. Not exposing themselves to some janky fights and not overdoing it. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Bit of damage coming through. Dobu will tick. That would have been heard. Relayed back over.
Very quiet here on Ancient then. Most important round of the game so far. Everybody knows it. Nobody wants to be the first player to go down, but someone's got to take a peek at some point, right? There's an AWP in the hands of Annihilation. Hoping to be the man to find the first. Eruption, though. They've hit a very solid groove these past few rounds. It's Shinobi towards middle, nearly finding 2. In fact, that was a dink through the wall. Annihilation taken out by the AWP of Coolest. It's slipping away from IHC here. It really, really is. Bartak on the edge of a smoke trying to find a head, but nothing presenting itself. Eruption, they understand the position that they're in. They know how strong they look right now. The double AWPs, ooh, paying dividends. It's a nice shot in isolation, but can it get any more? Coolest on the edge of the smoke with the AWP, because of course he is, and now just Techno essentially up against 4. One he had a nice opportunity to trade with, but I don't think he's going to get too much more than that. Yep, goes for the bomb plant. Shinobi will take him down, and now we're even Stevens.
13 apiece. I think, yeah, a pretty good time for IHC to call for a pause. Their T sides aren't looking as comfortable as they once were. They're in a position now where, once again, Eruption, it swung the other way. The CT side could actually close out in a matter of time. I mean, what have I actually got left in them? Maybe 1, 2 full buys? I mean, 2 maybe. If they get a bomb plant. If they don't, they've essentially got 1 before Eruption can close this out. It's fine margins. They understand that their time in this map, the 1, is slightly dwindling. Off the back of the attack, thankfully, we are just going to see a bit of a lower buy come through. Just a couple of Tech 9s, which might mean that I actually default back to what they do when their backs are against the wall. Just go fast. Try and play Angels. Trying to, take a site, get a bomb down. I don't mind this play at all because it does seem to find some success. How do they play it? Do they try and test A? Because I feel like we haven't really seen a solidified A take come through from IHC. It's always been a little bit janky where, players get picked off in towards mid. Well, no, flying in towards Temple, taking the first fight, doing it through. And that's it. Dobu falling. It's a standard IHC. Step up the pace when times are tough.
Yep. Uh-oh, it's working as well. Techno going to find the head of Fury. This is not looking good. They're locked out of the site. The smokes come down thick and fast. And a solid advantage moving in for IHC. Oh, Eruption. This is the way it goes. It would be disastrous. There is definitely a solid chance at getting back in. Primarily because the HP bars are so low, but also because those smokes dissipate pretty early on into the retake. Annihilation, though, living up to his namesake once again. The man to take the frontal battle. He will drop the only automatic weapon that they've got left. There's not a lot of time. It's going to have to be a strong defense, and unfortunately, Coolest just goes down way too quickly. 14 in for IHC. Oh, and what a round to do it in. What a round to do it in. Look at where the money is, or rather isn't, for Eruption. That could be the game. That really could be.
I gotta say, Script, it's so predictable, isn't it? I mean, it's just the most standard IHC thing ever, but it always works. I gotta give them their credit. I mean, Annihilation, that Tech 9 was just fantastic. It was lightning quick. But you gotta look at Eruption and think, boys, you surely gotta predict that. That's the 4th time now that we've seen this happen in this map, and the 3rd time in this half alone that we've seen them, default back off the tack pause and be like, okay, well, boys, we've got no money, let's just go quick. And it worked. You gotta look at Eruption and think, yes, they drop a Molotov in towards Excavation, but they drop it so late that essentially you can sort of beat it, right? Or you're taking kind of 25 points of tick damage. It's not the end of the world. A lot of question marks have to go out towards Eruption there in terms of how they've played that. They're still playing this like it's a normal gun round. Like they're expecting IHC to play this, cool, calm, collected. No, you gotta expect them to step up the tempo, especially when they're only going to be on pistols or at the very most a force buy with 1 or 2 rifles. Don't expect it, and it is quite costly. They are themselves going to go for a pretty janky sort of force buy. Double AWP is fantastic, but then MP9 Deagle and then when it's to round it all off, it's spit all over the place. And a dink on towards Yami. Maybe gets CSGO just a tad. He'll start the round at 27 points of HP.
Bit frustrating. Bartak going to take out Shinobi then. This is looking like for the game. Great find in from Fury, but unfortunately traded instantaneously. The AWP of Cool is going to have to get something done. Changes up on the angles. Smoke out. Give them some space. They are really respecting this guy right now. Down goes another, though. Now just the double AWPs that remain. Molotov will spread, and they're going to hit the B bomb site anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Although, in at mid, yeah, that bomb I was going to say is in a precarious sort of spot. Gets away. And now, I don't know. Do you just save and try and play for overtime? I don't think these 2 AWPs are going to get anything done. Coolest.
Save here, please. Don't walk into... Surely the barrel gets spotted momentarily, right?
Yeah,
have a look.
He wants to hunt it. He wants to try and find something. Oh, okay, gonna move away. Oh no, he's coming back. And Bartak, he's very ready for the fight. Wins out. Might even find both the AWPs here if he plays his cards right. He will indeed. The wide swing, solid enough, and they go into what could be the final round here of their own map pick with maximum 2,250. So yeah, Eruption. Terrible, terrible situation to be in.
Yeah, it is. I'm right in saying I think they've used all 4 attack pauses or options, so they actually can't even call another one here. I mean, they've really got nothing to work with. It's brutal. It's such a risky buy towards the previous, right? The double AWP was fine, and the M4S is all good, but having that MP9 and the Deagle as a weak point does leave some massive gaps in the armor, and that's what really exposed them. Now they've got an MP9. That's the best thing they've got to bring to the table, an MP9 and a few pistols. A lot of utility, which is great. what can they possibly do here? Techno, maybe Dance with the Devil, just a TARDIS. Blitz will find the first. Scriv, starting to crumble, mate.
Yeah, absolutely not looking good here. Fury will manage to find one on the Deagle. Once that AK, it's in there somewhere. There it is. He does get his hands onto it. Yami going to fall, though. So just as it was looking maybe a little better, it's all falling apart. Fury in and around the awkward angle of Jaguar. Gotta go. Absolutely massive. They know where this AK is. They know they have to deal with him. 3 players to make sure that he goes down. They don't lose a single one in that exchange as well. And now Coolest and dobu to save the game. I mean, surely not, eh? dobu is miles away, and they don't have the weaponry. They don't have the kit. They don't even really have the info to work with. Look at that MP9 go flying through the smoke. Will go down. dobu left to save the game. It's not going to happen. I'll tell you that one for free. If it does, I'll eat my shoes. Nonetheless, IHC looking like they are going to pick this one up. And there you have it. Pretty anticlimactic in the end, but a 16-13 nonetheless. And IHC with a good fight back. That force buy was absolutely massive.
Yeah, it was. I mean, what a game. What a game. Of course, now you can finally say hello to our faces. We had a very quick start. Not always the case here. Sometimes people take a little bit of time to ready up. We were all good today. So, we're straight in on the game, on time. Good to see. But hello, welcome. And there, Kaijum, the lovely Scrib, of course. We just brought you through map number 1. Great work from IHC as well. I got to say, they've really...